everyone, welcome back, and this is my review of Garo the Animation, episode 6, I want to say. It's either 5 or 6, okay? So this was kind of strange, this episode, because that blacksmith guy, he looked in this episode that turned into a horror, he looked exactly like that guy from the previous episode who was going to train the prince, okay? He really did, and it makes me wonder if he's the same person or if they just use like the same exact fucking character design for whatever reason for those two characters. But either way though, this blacksmith guy, apparently his son died basically trying to become a knight. I'll talk about how this series depicts being knighted in a second, but he died trying to become a knight. However, he didn't want to believe it, okay? His adopted son and everyone else, including the other knights, tried to get him to come to his senses and come back to reality, but he didn't want to believe that his son was dead. And so, because he got the sword of his son's sword back, he ended up getting turned into a horror and being consumed by, like, everyone else in the series so far who has turned into a horror. Okay? And that's basically the gist of the plot. It's very simple. Once again, it does seem like just like a Monster of the Week type of series, because although this episode was really good as always, I didn't really see how it like advanced the story in any hugely significant way. Okay, I'm being honest here. I really didn't see how. Again, that doesn't mean that it's bad, because it's not. It's actually really good. I just didn't see how it advanced the story at all. But to me, it just seemed like a Monster of the Week type of series. Or a Monster of the Week type episode. And so far, the series seems like a Monster of the Week type of series, really. Okay, where it just introduces a new horror every single week. You know, and it's defeated in that episode, you know what I mean? But either way, though, very good episode as always. It was, once again, it was a really sad episode in the end. Okay, and I just hope that soon we can get to, like, the main plot, okay? Once again, and advance it. Now, one thing that I do really like in the series so far, I don't think I mentioned yet, is I love the clever use of the camera angles in this series to really capture the emotions that they want to capture, okay? Like, the usage of camera angles in this series is really good, and I really love that. Like, just like how they have these slow zooms, these low pans, or these high pans. And it really brings out, it really works for the series, okay? It really does. Also, that animation is so fucking amazing as always, and I have got to get a hold of this series' fucking soundtrack. Seriously, the soundtrack is so good, okay? It's so good. Like, the music is so fucking amazing. I have got to get a hold of this series' soundtrack eventually. But either way, though, a kind of a short review, because not a whole lot happened in this episode, okay? Again, I'm really hoping that blacksmith guy actually, in fact, wasn't the guy in the previous episode who was going to train the prince, because that guy seemed like he was going to be extremely important later on in the story, you know, at least in terms of the prince's development, you know what I mean? But if he's dead, then that can't really happen, you know. And also he seemed like the type of guy who wouldn't be overcome that easily by a fucking horror. You know what I mean? So anyways, if you have yet to see this week's episode of Garo the Animation, I definitely recommend that you do, but keep in mind that it's still kind of following that Monster of the Week type of formula. Okay. And I cannot wait for next week's episode. The series is still very good. I'm very pleased with it. So anyways, overall, I hope you enjoyed this review, guys. These after guys, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.